solar energy has emerged as a transformative force in Africa, illuminating a path towards sustainable development and energy self-sufficiency. With its abundant sunlight and untapped potential, the continent is harnessing solar power to bridge the energy gap, particularly in remote and unserved regions. As nations across Africa increasingly embrace solar energy, a brighter and more equitable future begins to emerge on the horizon. Africa is witnessing a dynamic landscape of diverse solar energy projects that are catalyzing sustainable progress across the continent. Nations are embarking on massive projects building solar plants that underlines their determination to reduce dependence on fossil fuel, explore the use of renewable energy, and move towards low-carbon development. Notable among these is the effort of Malagasy women, who have taken up the responsibility to light up their village Antananarivo. Up until the end of 2017, this isolated fishing village in western Madagascar had no access to electricity. Yolande, a fisherwoman, and her grandchildren used oil lamps as their light source. This was considered a setback, especially making study difficult for her daughters.
Voalohany tsy mazava, mijalijalo zay arak'asa, bakeo mbo mamparary koa amin'ny setroky ny abokiny, ny zaza mikohaka mainty aby morony.
This condition is unsuitable for anyone, and a little help could make a difference for Yolande and her two daughters. Years later, in this little village of Antananarivo, a solar project that will equip over 200 homes with solar panels has been initiated. For Yolande and other women in the village, this was a great opportunity. Yolande and 3 other women from the village took up the responsibility to train as a solar technician, and now they install and repair solar equipment, a skill acquired in India where they were trained as solar technicians.
Tamin'ny voalohany nandehananay baketo tebiteby ny fonay zahay nandeha nagnandafy igny satria zao tany zao tsy haintegna variana be ao mahita kany ino toky mahita ny jiro reo la mafinaritra mahita ny jiro miendy ventilatera mandeha soa tsisy raha tsy mafinaritra ao resaky jiro zao mafinaritra tsy maty jiro.
This project has changed the lives of the villagers, who can now continue to study, work, or cook in the evenings. From this life-changing project in Madagascar, the continent set out on a mission in 2018 to build the largest concentrated solar power plant in the world that will produce 500 megawatts of electricity, providing power to more than 1 million Moroccans, a country in the northern part of Africa. These magnificent solar power will reduce Morocco's carbon emission by 760,000 tons per year, equivalent to about 1% of Morocco's CO2 emissions of around 56.5 million tons in 2011, a project made possible by the vast potential of the IRENA's estimation, which pegs Africa's solar energy potential at 60 million terawatt-hour annually, dwarfing Europe's 3 million terawatt-hour.
Sur le continent africain, ça prouve que lorsqu'on utilise le désert pour mettre des panneaux photovoltaïques, ça marche. Et c'est un formidable espoir pour tous les pays qui ont beaucoup d'ensoleillement, qui ont des terres désertiques et qui peuvent couvrir ces terres désertiques par des panneaux photovoltaïques et donc produire de l'électricité. C'est un projet extraordinaire et je suis très heureuse d'être là pour 3 raisons. D'abord parce que le Maroc nous a beaucoup aidés pour réussir la COP 21 et on voit aujourd'hui une réalisation qui concrétise les engagements pris à la COP21, la conférence de Paris sur le climat, et en particulier la montée en puissance des énergies renouvelables.
While this is so in Morocco, Togo, in a push to increase access to electricity and develop renewables in the small coastal country, launched West Africa's largest solar power plant.
La centrale Cheikh Mohammed bin Zayed de 50 MW Crête de Blita est la plus grande centrale solaire photovoltaïque de la sous-région utilisant la technologie des trackers solaires, ce qui permet d'augmenter le rendement des panneaux solaires en leur faisant suivre la course du soleil.
By the time we complete the additional 20 MW plus the battery storage system, this Blita plant will be 70 MW plus battery storage system, which is definitely the largest in West Africa.
When completed, these magnificent projects will power almost 160,000 houses. Africa has established itself as a trailblazer in solar energy, owing to its extended duration of sunlit hours. Throughout the year, Africa enjoys a considerable higher amount of radiant sunlight compared to any other continent on the globe, hosting numerous of the world's most sun-drenched locales. South Africa, one of the leading economies in Africa, is a top country on the continent with regard to the use of solar energy deployment. One project stands as a testament to South Africa's large-scale renewable energy development, the establishment of the continent's first solar power airport in the regional airport of George, a town of just 150,000 residents on South Africa's south coast. This small site is Africa's first green airport to be powered by the sun. The control tower, escalators, check-in desk, baggage carousels, restaurant and ATMs, every service here depends on a small solar power station a few hundred meters away in a field on dandelions next to a runway.
I take pride in that we are one of the first airports to have it. We've seen a nice electricity cut, which is plus for me on the budget. I see and I recognize that gone are the days where power failures used to be a big thing for the airport. We no longer have those. Even though we do have our backup generators, we first get our source from our well-improved solar plant.
The airport solar plant was launched in September 2015 and became the second solar-run airport in the world after Cochin Airport in southern India. On the southern coast of West Africa, we are introduced to the adventure in the Ivorian resort of Jacaville, just outside Abidjan, which started in January of 2018 with 2 little cars. The mini cars, 2.7 meters long and 2 meters high, are covered in solar panels, each fitted out of a 6 12-volt batteries, giving the vehicles a range of 140 kilometers. For Ivorians, these Saloni or Antara tricycles could eventually spell the end for old-school Woro-Woro, four-wheelers, as Jacaville looks to make itself Ivory Coast premier eco-city. A switch to solar and durables may appear paradoxical in Jacaville, but it is worthy of note that the area produces the lion's share of the country's gas and oil.
C'est une expérience qui marche bien à Jacaville et que nous comptons déployer dans les villages aussi. Nous, pour le moment, nous circulons dans la ville.
C'est qu'à Jacaville ici, j'ai découvert cette voiture électrique. Elle nous paraît d'abord une voiture sécuritaire parce qu'elle va très lentement, mais sûrement. Et du coup aussi monétaire, c'est un arrangement. Avant ici les déplacements c'était à 200, maintenant du coup 100 francs. Et puis on a cette voiture voilà, qui fait un peu d'innovation ici à Jacaville quoi.
L'avantage là c'est beaucoup, on ne peut pas dire tout.
qui est nécessaire seulement. On ne peut pas payer sans. Bon, maintenant, tout le monde dit, maintenant, tant c'est censé, il faut que tout le monde ait rentré. Donc moi, c'est la première fois que c'est rentré. C'est pour ça que moi, c'est le premier, c'est rentré cette affaire-là à Côte d'Ivoire. Donc, les Ivoiriens sont gagnants massés dans ça là. Vous savez, le petit là, tous sont rentrés dedans. Il y en a techniciens, il y en a chauffeurs, il y en a mécaniciens. Tout le monde, il pleurait derrière moi maintenant.
While Ivorians celebrate the success of the Antara tricycles, solar-powered racing cars hit the road in South Africa. This fancy solar car not only looks futuristic, but it also raises awareness about advances in solar energy and inspires countries around the world to make more use of green technology. Today, a dozen cars are up and running. Although still in the test phase, the solar trikes have provided job opportunities for around 20 people, including drivers and mechanics at initial launch. The popular bush taxis do not only pollute the atmosphere and the environment, they also cost more in terms of fare for commuters. So, replacing them with solar trikes is a chance to kill several birds with one solar stone. The deployment of solar energy in Africa is no longer negotiable. There are evident efforts by nations to extend electricity access to previously undeserved communities, with several pioneering initiatives like Morocco's Noor Solar Complex, which is currently pushing the boundaries of the concentrated solar power technology, while off-grid solar initiatives like Nigeria's Solar Power Niger program are fostering rural development and improving livelihoods. These multifaceted solar endeavors collectively illuminate Africa's journey towards energy resilience, social empowerment, and environmental stewardship. From large-scale solar farms to innovative off-grid solutions, Africa's solar revolution is not only reducing carbon emissions and mitigating climate change, but also empowering communities by providing reliable electricity, spurring economic growth, and enhancing access to education, healthcare, and communication technologies.